Hi folks, we're going to take a look at number 15 on page 288. So they're asking us to solve this equation on the interval from 0 to 2 pi inclusive. All right, so here we see that we've got a linear trigonometric equation because there's only one trig ratio and it's not being squared or cubed. So we'll go ahead and start by isolating the trig ratio. So here, sine of 2x is going to be equal to, so bring the negative 1 to the other side, 1 divided by 3, so 1/3. Now, 1 over 3 doesn't correspond to a special ratio regarding any special angles, so it means we're going to solve this by approximating. Okay, so our next step is to determine two answers within our first cycle of sine, and we're going to do that using sine inverse. So one option is that 2x is equal to sine inverse of 1/3. Okay, which we'll calculate. Let's get our calculator here. Okay, so sine inverse of 1/3. Okay, and that gives us 0.34. That's not good enough. So 2x is equal to 0.34. And now to get a second answer, we're just going to take pi minus 0.34. In other words, use the related angle identity for sine. Okay, so it's going to be pi, which I'll just approximate with 3.14 minus 0.34. So we have 2x is equal to 3.14 minus 0.34. Okay, 2.8. All right, so this is step 2, is to find our two answers that correspond to sine being equal to 1/3. All right, now we can solve for the variable. So x is equal to, so 0.34 divided by 2 will be 0.17, and here 2.8 divided by 2 will be 1.4. Okay, both of these are within the range of values because here we're looking at 0 to about 6.28, so these are good, but they're likely going to be other answers. So now that we have our first two solutions, we can generate all the other solutions by adding the period of the trig ratio, which in this case here is not going to be 2 pi, okay, because we've got a k value here. We've got a number multiplying the x, so the period is actually 2 pi over 2, so pi. Okay, so we're going to be adding 3.14 to these numbers until we get to our maximum. So here we've got 0.17 plus 3.14, so that gives us 3.31. Okay, but I can see very clearly that if I add 3.14 again, I'll be beyond this here. So if you take a look, plus 3.14, and that's bigger than 6.28. Okay, so that's all we have from this branch. And so now let's go to the 1.4. 1.4 plus 0.14 is equal to 4.54. And if I add another 3.14, I see that, again, I'm beyond the 2 pi. And there's no point in subtracting the in subtracting the period, because if I have 0.17 minus 3.14 or 1.4, 3.14, I'll be in the negative, and I'm only looking at answers from 0 to 2 pi. All right, so here we go. We have all the answers for them alone. Okay, so just to recap again, remember solving these equations is a 4-step process. Step 1, isolate the trig ratio. In this case here, I could have done that just by opposite operations. Step 2 is determine the two values in the first turn of the cycle that give you 1/3. One was found by using sine inverse. The second is found by using the related angle identity for sine. Step 3, solve for the variable. And then step 4 is add and subtract the period, in this case here pi, to those initial two answers until you get all the possible solutions. Okay, that's it for this one.